Good afternoon, everyone. We have a packed house today. We've got folks from all over North America, from Ontario out to California, even Hawaii, Florida, Texas, Rhode Island. Welcome. Uh, my name is Rich Long of Flycast Partners, and I would like to thank you for joining us for the Power of Unified IT series. Today's webinar is our third installment of the five-part series, Ivanti's Asset Management webinar presented by our very own Bobby McCullough. Bobby has just over 2 decades selling, implementing, and supporting a variety of solutions, including IT service, operations, and financial management, including budgeting, forecasting, allocating, rebill, and accounts receivable, utilization management, telecom, IT, and cloud, IT asset management, procurement to disposal life cycle, infrastructure management, copper, fiber, network devices, change management, integrated workflow, time management and rebill, incident management, expense management, telecom, IT, utilities, cloud, etc., and integration, voice, VoIP, and UC, as well as HR, CRM, AR, AP, AD, data warehouse, and IT operations analytics. He has configured demonstration systems using JSON file ingestion through application API and Python, and has added value in multiple product engagements, providing overall solution views and clarity. His extensive experience in lean methodologies and proven record of designing and implementing more efficient and cost-effective procedures and technologies is invaluable. Before we get started, Bobby, let me introduce Flycast Partners. Flycast Partners is here to deliver a seriously amazing IT experience. We were founded and staffed by personnel that have many years of experience in the IT space. We took the best ideas from these collective experiences and added the best components necessary to grow and become a leading value-added reseller in the North American IT market. We offer best-in-class implementation services and training in IT service management, IT asset management, IT operations management, enterprise service management, and workload automation spaces using ITIL best practice. Our professional services can easily scale up or down to meet the IT needs of any customer, regardless of size, complexity, or budgetary restrictions. We offer implementation services both on-site and remote, as well as training to reinforce your company's long-term IT success. Our ongoing remote administration and support service offerings will enable your organization to focus on those normal day-to-day operations, saving you both precious time and money. Feel free to call us at 844-FLYCAST. That's 844-359-2278. Or, of course, visit our website. We have IT experts there to answer your questions live Monday through Friday during normal business hours. I encourage you to take advantage of the different tools that we have on our website, whether it be data sheets and white papers, and taking a look at some of the services that we offer and some of the things that are coming up in the near future. Take a look at some of the events that we have coming up. We have quite a few events coming up. Our Dave & Buster's Ivanti Flycast Partners Roadshow, right around the corner, by the way. And I want you to feel free to download as many white papers and data sheets as you possibly can. During this series that we're having today, we will flash a random code on the screen for a couple of seconds. When you see this code, simply type it back to the host privately through the chat, and you'll receive a Starbucks gift card tomorrow morning. You'll have 2 minutes to type the code after it is shown. It will be invalid after that. In addition, for all those that attend all 5 webinars in this series, you'll automatically be entered in a drawing for an Oculus. If you have any questions during our presentation today, please type them in the Q&A section of this WebEx, and I will ask them on your behalf live during today's presentation. Bobby will answer as many of those questions as he possibly can in the time allocated. Folks, we do have a full packed house today, so we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. Go for it, Bobby.
Great. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, everybody, for attending our webinar today. Like Rich said, this is a part of our 5 pillars of unified IT in 5 weeks. Today, we're going to talk about asset management. So a little bit about Ivanti, established in 1985, privately owned, a little over 27,000 customers. Some of the big things for you to pick up here is managing over 47 million endpoints. The wide range of solutions that Ivanti offers, have been accepted around the world, and that they're managing a large number of endpoints. That's security and surety for you. So Ivanti's DNA. How did Ivanti come about? Ivanti really is the result of some strategic acquisitions and mergers, as well as some organic growth. You recognize some of the names here, starting out with things like Heat Software, Shavlik for security, and Res for automation. So Ivanti's really done it right by making these strategic acquisitions and bringing the solutions together in a unified way, so that they can present this unified IT advantage. So what is it? What is that advantage? It's lower risk. It's quicker response time, increased user satisfaction, as well as allowing you time to be strategic. Ivanti has solutions to cover security, endpoint management, service management, and identity. I believe those are the two that, if you've been to our other webinars, you've already seen. Today we'll be covering the asset manager pillar. These are all available, integrated and automated on a cloud or on-prem, and we wrap around all of these solutions our analytics and reporting tools so that you can get unique insights. Those insights allow you to take action on your environment. So what is ITAM, IT Asset Management? So it's been defined as the set of business practices empowering you to manage your hardware and software technology, helping you gain the most from your IT investments. So a simple way to put that is knowing what you have, where it's located, who's responsible for it, and how it's being used. And that visibility is key in today's current state of IT software management, IT asset management. It's an ever-changing, complex environment. Licensing creates barriers to getting compliant and staying compliant. There's asset loss, theft and just employee loss, disaster recovery, and then the life cycle refreshes for both hardware and software. There's different requirements for each of those, not to mention security threats that are out there constantly attacking your environment. So there's some real hard questions that organizations ask that asset management is really there to help answer. The first one is, what do you have? Where is it? Where are your licenses? Where is your hardware? Who is it assigned to? Who owns that license? Who's responsible for that? What's its current state? What about contract renewals, warranty dates, those type of things? What's its history? What's been going on with this item, this asset, this license? Does it need to be upgraded? Does the hardware need to be disposed of and its life cycle come to an end? How is it performing? That's key to being able to do product rationalization. Does your organization need this piece of hardware, this particular software asset? And finally, what's it costing you? What does it cost from an acquisition perspective, and what does it cost from a day-to-day utilization perspective? I had someone tell me a long time ago that you can't expect what you can't inspect. And that's exactly what's going on with asset management. You can't manage it if you don't know, if you're not able to quickly answer these questions. So the truth really hurts. According to industry analysts, 76.4% of organizations are over-licensed because they're in fear of audits. 50% of organizations have 12 or more discovery tools. And this is really this is an outgrowth of siloed business units where the guys responsible for the network devices have their discovery tool, the guys responsible for the servers have theirs, and they really don't talk to each other, and the knowledge and the processes are all very siloed. Organizations are spending 10 hours a week resolving data issues on average. 32% of organizations spend at least 25 hours a week. That's a huge amount of time just making sure that your data is correct. And finally, software license complexity. Industry analysts believe that there's an indirect cost of 25% of software budgets just because of the complexity associated with software licensing. So how does asset management help? Well, having an ITIL-based asset management process and solution within your organization, first of all, allows you to be accurate, complete, and consistent. So when executives ask for information, you're able to provide that quickly. You can be confident knowing that it's accurate and complete, backed up by your processes and your solution, and it's consistent. So when they need it next month or next quarter, they're going to be able to get the same type of information. It's going to be available at your fingertips. No more spending days or hours trying to compile the data and then be concerned about its completeness and accuracy. You're going to get that out of the box with the Ivanti Asset Management Solution. So what does that mean? Having that solution, what does that mean to organizations? Well, industry analysts, I'm not going to bore you with all these numbers here. Industry analysts put it somewhere between 25 and 40% savings from different aspects of implementing a complete asset management solution. But that's just what the industry analysts say. What do customers say about that? Mr. Leonard with Sealed Air mentions about how his organization saved nearly $1 million in licensing fees in the first 3 months with the solution. So this asset management is really the type of solution that can pay for itself if properly implemented and surrounded with the right type of processes to take advantage of that solution. So how does Ivanti do this? It really, ITAM, IT asset management really has been around for about 20 years. And it's really got three components, and these three components Ivanti focuses on. The physical, which really that should be more environmental. What physical and virtual environments do you have? Where are they located? Who's responsible for them? What are their attributes? That's a big part of that's the linchpin with asset management. And then we've got the financial aspect of it, depreciation, book value, amortization. How do we do a cost-benefit analysis? That's really the ITFM part of this. And then finally, contractual. That really marries the physical with the financial. You're able to understand terms and conditions, entitlements, service level agreements, and warranties, and also able to manage the vendor relationship. So those are really the three overall areas that asset management encompasses. How Ivanti approaches that is through their IT asset management suite, which really is three elements: IT asset management, which is really going to be our focus today. We'll talk a little bit about License Optimizer for servers and License Optimizer for clients. That's sort of the next level in your asset management maturity tools, but we'll talk a little bit about those in depth here in just a second. So Asset Manager, really, again, tracking your software, hardware. Really don't care where the hardware is or software, or if it's virtual. You're able to apply defined workflows so that your processes are governed with notification and escalation in all the places you would expect to see it. Out-of-the-box processes. So what I'm going to show you today are some of the out-of-the-box catalog items and processes available within asset management. And using that allows you to improve your asset efficiency. It also allows you to get value quick. You're not having to go through a lot of development or configuration to try to, or no customization to try to roll this out within your organization. Really, you're going to be able to do it out of the box, reduce your IT support and maintenance costs. License Optimizer for servers. Whenever I talk about License Optimizer for servers is really what your operations folks are interested in. It's going to allow them to see through the layers of virtualization and clustering, bringing together a lot of disparate data, which I'll explain here in just a minute, and provide the visibility that you need to identify and manage your software assets for on-premise and hybrid cloud and virtual environments. It allows you to reconcile your assets and optimize your software spending through those servers. Now, the other side of this is License Optimizer for clients. Now, this is where the finance guys are. When they see this is where they get excited because License Optimizer for clients allows you to get a broad view of how your users are interacting with the assigned software. Is there some software we don't need? Is there something we can get rid of? Can we save on our entitlements somehow? Can we reclaim unused licenses? All of those types of things allow for utilization and optimization of your client license data. Now, the International Association of Information Technology Asset Managers, or IATAM, is an industry group that started back in 1998. Today, they're the leading professional association for ITAM users and vendors. And they've identified 12 key process areas for ITAM. Ivanti can help you in every one of these areas. Many of these, they've got, Ivanti Asset Management has complete coverage within those areas, and others were just really a supporting tool, as in like legislation. So when you're monitoring laws or regulations, we make it easy for you to understand what your environment, which elements of your environment are impacted by that, and they allow you to get that type of information out quickly to executives or other team members that might need it. I'm not going to go through each of these, but I do want to hit on a couple of items. Acquisition management, that's really sort of the start of the purchasing process. So we can help with that all the way through to disposal management. So that's really the life cycle of the asset, taking care of how it comes in with all the financial elements, as well as the day-to-day management of it and the financial elements associated with that, all the way through to finally disposing of it. And then within that, you're also always going to have vendor management as well. Who are the vendors we're getting those from? What are our contracts with those vendors? What types of agreements do we have and such? So you've really got several areas here that the solution encompasses and gives you complete coverage within ITAM. So how does it do it? How does Ivanti Asset Management Suite do it? Well, it starts with discovery and inventory. We're able to combine all of these disparate sources for your discovery data through our discovery services connectors. We've got a whole host of these connectors available out of the box so that we're able to link in with other discovery and inventory tools to begin applying that single pane of glass to this asset environment. So you might be saying, great, Bobby, that's great that you can bring all that data together, but it's disparate from disparate sources. It's difficult to get it to agree. We're going to help you normalize that data. I'm going to show you that in just a second. We'll help normalize that, reconcile that, so that you get a complete view, end-to-end view, wide and deep of your asset environment. First way that's done is through reconciliation. Obviously you're going to have different sources for your users, and they may have different identifiers. So the system does a good job of reconciling those for you, and then provides you the means to go in and for one-off issues where it wasn't able to reconcile, you're able to help it learn how to apply that reconciliation going forward, and help the system learn so that as you move through time using the system, it does a better job ongoing with reconciling this type of data. And the same thing with normalization. Bobby, there's no way your system's going to be able to help me because my sources all come in with different titles for our software. The Ivanti Asset Management Suite expects that and provides a means for normalizing that so that it understands that Microsoft and Microsoft Inc., maybe a couple of different ways, all stand for Microsoft.
Bobby, we have a quick question. Bernard would like to know, is the Discovery tool DSM or Landesk?
It used to be called Landesk. It's now Endpoint Management.
Thank you so much, sir.
No problem. So we've got a few minutes left here for the demonstration for asset management. Now, if you were available in the other two webinars that we had, you know that the process starts with a service request. Now, the Ivanti Asset Manager, as a part of that unified IT approach, it has a whole host of out-of-the-box connectors so that you can bring in your service desk requests right into the Asset Manager tool. In this case, we've got direct links into Ivanti Service Management, and makes it very easy to spin that system up with both of those elements in it, very tightly integrated, and that's the example that we're seeing here. So the customer support portal, customer comes in and requests his MacBook Pro, and he knows what his request number is, sees what his progress is. Behind the scenes, I'm sure you know from the other webinar, we're approval email, notification emails we're going to go out. And this starts the process. So at this point, it's just a service ticket, but once it's been approved, either by replying to the email or clicking the link and clicking approve, once that happens, then it actually moves over into the workflow through the asset management system. So here we're looking at that same request over in the asset management portal. And just right at the top here, I know who it's for. I know what its status is, what team it's assigned to, and also its urgency. That's key. Up at the top, we've got some SLA information so that you understand what's going on with it. Ivanti solutions are really good about bringing to your attention those things that need your attention. So right at the top, it tells you what's going on with the SLA status, so you understand where it is in the process. Now, if I scroll down here in the parameters section, I can see the request, the requested item. I can see how much it was for, who it's for, and this is key. This is part of the benefit of having the asset management tool. The system knows where this customer is located. So when I go to edit this request and make assignments, give me just a second, guys. I go to edit my request and make the assignment of the asset. The system will actually pull in available assets from that location that this user is located. So I can go ahead and assign that. It knows right away what the tag number, what the serial number is, and it'll now pull that out of inventory so that it won't be grabbed by anyone else, used for any other purpose or on another ticket. Now, Ivanti Service Management and Asset Management Solution is really built on this same platform. It's the same type of format. So I can click my details. These are communication journal related to this particular asset request so that you know what's going on communication-wise within your organization and with the customers. We've also got approvals that we can get to, tasks. So the workflow that's assigned to this particular request can create tasks in the system. and you can use the tasks to not only manage your workflow, but to keep up with your time and level of effort. Fulfillment items, if you're managing from the fulfillment level, you actually have the task assigned to the fulfillment item, and those can be managed from there. If you're doing ITFM, financial management through your asset manager, you've also got the ability to identify cost items. So this could be shipping, the unit cost of the item, whatever cost might be related to acquiring this item. You're able to identify those separately here and make them reportable and available for the analytics as well. Attachments, maybe there's a document, a Visio diagram, a PDF, or maybe a URL where that you want to have applied to the asset request. You're able to do that right here from the screen within the solution. Audit history, you know what changes have been made. So as your staff come in and make changes here into the request, you're able to know what was changed and when it was done and who did it. Now, we talked early on about selecting the item from stock, but what happens if the item is not in stock? And so here's my ability to create a new purchase order. If I have another system providing requisition number, I can key that in. All the information I need to get that purchase order started. And then I've got the ability to jump right over to that purchase order once that's been created over in the system.
Whenever you're ready, Bobby, we do have a couple questions, by the way.
This is a good point for a couple of questions, so go right ahead.
Okay. The first question that we have here is, does Ivanti have an app so that requests can be updated from a smartphone?
Yes.
Okay.
We have an app, and it's also available through a browser on your smartphone as well.
Okay, and our next question, does this integrate with SCCM for software deployment, or does it eliminate the need for software deployment portion of SCCM?
So asset management by itself would integrate with your SCCM. If you had the EPM solution and asset management, then that would actually eliminate the need could eliminate the need for SCCM. Were there any more questions?
That's all of them for right now. Nope, not for right now. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Another one just came in. Sorry about that. Here we go.
No problem.
No, they're just saying excellent. Thank you for the information. So that's good. And
Gotcha.
We've got a couple others that are saying this is a great webinar, and thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. So we've kind of gone through the process here a little bit. I want to show you a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes. Whenever we enter these requests, they have a workflow attached to them, and the workflow is how we govern the processes associated with any action that we take in the solution. And the workflow can do lots of things for us. It can notify end users. It can set up approvals, notify your staff. It applies the SLA, the escalation, and everything. So really, it's the workflow engine is really the heart of what's going on behind the scenes. And these are available out of the box. So this particular request, it has a couple of levels of approval. A lot of times this can be governed by a cost value, and you're able to define within these approvals who is going to be approving. Is it a particular user? Is it a group of users? Is it the manager of the user? You're able to define what notifications are going to go out. Sometimes for approvals, you may have a group, and you need approval from 50% plus one, and you're able to define that here in these approvals. The workflow, though, allows you to manage that process, and as it flows, it can look at the condition of the asset request and use the condition of the values that it finds to update other values in the ticket so that it can set statuses and notify you accordingly through the solution. So very, very handy tool here using the workflow to help govern your processes. Now, where does that workflow come from? The workflow comes from our product catalog. The product catalog are those things that we're going to offer. It's a wild west if you just allow your employees to go out and they can go to Amazon or Apple or Dell and just pick whatever they want. That's a support nightmare, not to mention a financial nightmare as well. Having the product catalog allows you to govern that, allows you to determine what items you're going to offer, and it allows you to govern that. So within these product catalogs, we have all the information that we need about any particular item. Who is our expert for that particular item? What's our cost? What's our cost? What are we going to bill back internally if we're doing that? What are the attributes of that particular item? So, its size, its color, its weight, the type of information that you might need for that to be shipped, as well as stock counts. So when this item gets down to a particular level, how many are we going to reorder? So you're able to define that so that you're able to do stock management within the asset management solution as well. Here from the product catalog, I've got a view into all of my assets. So anytime I'm looking for looking at a particular asset, how is it deployed? Who is it deployed to? I've got that type of information right here at my fingertips. Stock levels. So assets in this sense are what's deployed. Stock levels are those assets that are yet to be deployed, and I can see right where they are, as well as their condition and their serial numbers and asset tags. If an item has an active order on it, this is one of the ones we were working on earlier. I'm able to see that from right here. Assign organizational units. You might have a particular item that's only used by IT or maybe by sales. You're able to define that here. Approved vendors, as well as suggested alternatives as well. Now, the system gives you lots of views of your data. The system comes with standard out-of-the-box dashboards available for each of the roles. System comes with roles available out of the box that easily integrate with your Active Directory system. And so it's really easy to turn the system up and get your users in and using the system and getting value out of it. Each of these roles, like I said, has its own dashboard. You might have access to other dashboards, and that's all completely configurable. You as a user are able to find which one is your default or your home dashboard. So when you log in and go to your home page, again, what needs your attention can get your attention. These are all navigable, so I can easily double-click on an area and drive right into those records through a search list in the system. Makes it very easy to get into your data. You've also got views, sort of Rubik's Cube views of your data, so I can go in and look at my hardware. If I look at it from a hardware asset perspective, then it's showing it to me by type. We'll drive in here to one of our laptops, take a look at the details on it. So here within our assets, I see what the item is, what my name for it is, what its asset and serial number tags are, as well as those attributes you would expect to see, what we had already defined from the product catalog, as well as who it's assigned to and where it's assigned, and then the purchase information for this particular product. When does its warranty expire? What is its warranty term? All of that type of information available right here at your fingertips. Now, this information can come from a variety of sources, including your discovery information. So the solution gives you the ability to compare what you have assigned to this particular item versus what your discovery solution has found about this item. In this case, it's Ivanti Endpoint Management. And here I can see that my assigned value to this item is different from my discovered value as well as my asset location. So I might need to investigate that and make a correction here within the solution. I'm able to manage all of my installed software, so it's able to marry up that software assets with the hardware assets and present those to you here, as well as the ability to track network, other user assets as well. Let's take a look at software assets. We've got about 9 more minutes. Software assets again. What we have, where it's what is the software? How many are we entitled to? What's the contract item for that, so we understand the cost? What's our entitlements associated with that? And then what entitlements have been assigned right here within the solution. This is a good point to stop for questions. I've got one more sort of to show you. Rich, are there any more questions right now?
No, not at this moment. You've answered all of them so far. Folks, if you have questions, go ahead and type them in the Q&A section. We'll be happy to answer as many as we can for as much time that we have left.
So this is the Ivanti extraction tool. You know, I showed you the slide about the DNA. Extraction is this big data analytic tool that we brought into the solution that allows you to get those big data analytic type views of what's going on in your environment. And this is just an example of one of the analytics or dashboards that are available right out of the box with extraction. It comes with Ivanti Asset Manager, and you actually get 2 developer licenses to tweak and modify and create your own visualizations here within the solution. But it's really a big data tool. I can click on another visualization. You can see how quickly it's going to render that data. Now, just so you understand, I'm sharing my screen. My system has to go out and hit the Ivanti system. It comes back. It presents that data. Then it's sharing it then out to your screen. So there's a couple of hops there happening, and that still comes back very, very quickly. You've got the ability to schedule these. So this is really what's neat. So that if you have executives that need access to this information, or maybe managers that need it weekly, executives need it monthly or quarterly, you're able to schedule that, output that in a variety of formats, so they can come and get that information right from their screens. So, Rich, that's really all I have right now. Do we have any more questions?
I'm not seeing any additional questions at this time. Folks, we do have a couple more moments. If you have questions, please go ahead and type them in there. I'll read them off for Bobby, and he'll try and answer them. Those of you that managed to get your codes in, several of you this time. We had a packed house as it is, and a lot of folks there. You'll be receiving your gift certificate in the morning for your Starbucks, towards your Starbucks coffee. So I'll make sure that gets out in the morning for you. And I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in this webinar series of Unified IT. Next week, next Thursday, we're going to continue this series and continue the journey through the different pillars of the Unified IT provided by Ivanti, and it's endpoint security. Presented by Ivanti's own Jed Wilson next Thursday. So tune in next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time for the next installment of this webinar series. Those of you that missed the previous webinars in this series, reach out to us at info@flycastpartners.com, and we'll make sure you get the links to those recordings. We'd be more than happy to send them out to you and anyone else in your organization. With that being said, Bobby, thank you so much. Another great presentation.
Thank you, Rich, very much.
And And folks, you can always call us at 844-FLYCAST. That's 844-359-2278. Email us at info@flycastpartners.com with any questions that you have, or chat with us live on our website with our IT specialist Monday through Friday during normal business hours. And with that, have a great week. We'll see you next Thursday.